Morning, students. Last week we did understanding place value using decimals for our tenths house. This week we will be doing hundredths. I want you to read over and double check you understand the decimal number. And if you have a look here, we are working with our hundredths house, which is on the far right-hand side. So the hundredths column is 10 times smaller than the tenths column. Counting in hundredths. Have a look at the board there with all the squares. This is a 100 board. So it has 100 squares on it, okay? So last week we were working with this same board, it just wasn't cut up into as many pieces. We were working in tenths. We are now working in hundredths. So displayed in the table at the top is its decimal form. So this says 0.01. The way we say that is 1/100th. As a fraction, it is 1 over 100. Having a look at the hundreds board, there is only one square shaded. At the top, we have 0.02. We say that 2/100ths. We write it as a fraction, 2 over 100. And on the hundreds board, there are now two squares shaded. This one said 3/100ths. As a fraction, we write 3 over 100. On the hundreds board, there is 3 squares shaded out of 100. This is 4/100ths, 4 over 100, and 4 squares shaded out of 100 on the board. 5/100ths, 5 out of 100 are shaded on the board. 6/100ths. And as you can see, we're starting to get more and more boxes shaded as we go along. 7/100ths. We have written that as 7 over 100, and there are now 7 boxes shaded out of 100 on the hundreds board. 8/100ths. 9/100ths. 10/100ths. Now, what I want you to recognize is 10/100ths is also the same as 1/10th. I have put a comparison there so that you can see the two boards underneath each other. So last week you did tenths, and you can see now looking at the hundreds board, that is exactly the same. 11/100ths, so 11 over 100. We have added one extra box on our hundreds board, and there are now 11 shaded. 12/100ths, 12 over 100, there are now 12 boxes shaded. In your booklet, I want you to find the sheet that is called Place Value Hundredths to complete the following questions. So below is just a screenshot of what your sheet looks like. It's in your booklet. If you could go to that now, and the next slide will have your questions that I want you to complete. So there are 9 questions there for you to complete. Don't get tricked by I. Have a think about it. Good luck, everyone. Can't wait to see your work.